will inform my students of their grades and progress by always keeping like the grade book, like Canvas, updated on their grades, so that way they can see the progress that they're making, and also like always giving feedback on the students' work, so that way like they understand like what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, and they can proceed to fix that, so that way that they're making progress. Another idea that I had was have like a monthly meeting with the students, so that way that we can talk about their progress and talk about what they're doing good, what they can improve on, their grades, and I think that will help a lot. I will monitor their achievement by telling them what topics they have achieved throughout like the year or semester, so that way they know that where they're at and what they have achieved. Also, like if I'm dealing with like a younger group of students, like their reading levels or like vocab lists or something like that, like letting them know like, hey, this is where you are, this is what you've achieved so far, and you're here like throughout the year. On page 266 of the textbook, it talks about individual accountability, and it says that like in a group setting, students will take account for their own progress and take account by their grades. So that's like showing that like in that aspects, like on group projects and stuff like that, like it's the students who's going to take account for their own learning and monitor that. How will like effort and knowledge be weighted when grading? I plan on always giving like partial credit if a student is showing that they're trying. So if a student is like, I can tell that they're going in the right direction, or like they're close to the answer, I plan to give as much like partial credit as I can. Usually low effort shows low grades. So like if you're not trying, your grade's probably going to be a lot lower. And then how will good or bad behavior affect grading? I don't think that like it should affect grading. Like if the student's misbehaving in class and acting up, but they're still getting the answers correct, then that like I'm not going to give them a worse grade just because of their behavior. But I do believe that students who pay attention in class and are good in class are going to end up getting higher grades because they're paying attention and they're a good student. Vice versa, like with a student who is bad in class and not paying attention, it's probably it's going to show in their grades that they're not paying attention, that they're not trying as hard because they're distracted by misbehaving in class, and then therefore their grades will be lower most likely. For the second part, I chose the question about why are analysis, synthesis, and evaluation called higher order of thinking skills. And it talked about this on page 85 and 86. It says that analysis is taking apart complex items, like speeches and essays. Synthesize is the process of combining parts in such a way to contribute a pattern of structure that did not exist before. It says that evaluation requires making decisions about controversial topics and sustaining these decisions with some reason. So all of those explain that they're you have to think. Like a lot of those, you have to think to come up with the answer. The answer is not right in front of you. So that is why they're higher order thinking skills, because it involves you thinking for yourself and creating something. The answer is not right in front of you like some of the other things that it talked about.